Hello everyone, come back to the channel again. It's been a while. Today I'm trying to thinking discuss about the cognitive distortion. So why I picked this topic because I think this topic is worth to get into a discussion, and then due to the whole at this moment, probably suffer emotional stress. So I think this is a good time to discuss about this topic. And first of all, we want to digest and then um, just list about the 10 common cognitive distortion. So the first one will be the all or nothing thinking. So this is pretty self-explanatory. We are talking about a lot of people just see things only in two categories, either in good or bad, either a white or dark. So those kind of thinking kind of preventing you to thinking a lot of different situation in a gray area. So for example, will be you can say that I have to do a great job on everything. Um, there's only two party in a democracy society. There is only two choices in life. There's either yes or no. There is no other choices, either far left or far right. Um, things can either turn out really good or turn out really bad. So those are type of things called nothing thinking. This is very common to people um, kind of suffer from cognitive distortion. And the second thing will be fortune telling. So basically, you already set out something and tell yourself, oh my God, things gonna turn really bad. You make some of the worst prediction about your future, okay, and you make the worst prediction about the outcome, and then you will always have trouble figure out my thought. That's what you think other people think. I have a problem to figure out what I'm thinking. I have a trouble to figure out what will be the best outcome for me. So those are kind of fortune telling. You feel like you can predict the future, and by already make a limitation for yourself and thinking of the future is pretty bad. The third one will be labeling. So what does that mean is you put a globally native label on yourself, right? And you will say, my God, I'm a failure. I make a lot of mistake. I'm not gonna be able to recover because you kind of labeling yourself. Labeling yourself can also refer into the culture insensitive. For example, some people may think, oh my God, white people love to hiking, people to go on camping, white people love to uh, do a lot of like a snowboarding sport. That's how people label him for Caucasian individual. And then to the black people, they can say people they are lazy, they are not productive. I know this is kind of racial sensitive, but I have to mention it because still a lot of people are overgeneralizing those things. So they only see one side of thing, labeling other people, and they don't know a lot of black people really hard. Black people like fried chicken, black people, those are not a good way to labeling someone. And then they can say Latino population, those people, they tend to value family a lot. They're aggressive. They drive fast car. This can apply to white people, black people too. But this is kind of like how people can labeling other races, and they can say Latino taco. Those are very simple. But certain people still make the assumption without confirming people, right? And then they say Asian people, Asian people are smart, they're blocking social aspect of interaction with people, which is not true too. There's a lot of Asian people are successful in socializing, right? And not all the Asian people like that. Study with they are inflexible. So those are kind of like labeling, and can refer that in cognitive distortion as you label yourself doing really bad in life, which is not true. because you only focus on one aspect of the labeling of your life. And the fourth one will be emotional reason. So this is very simple. You just basing on everything on your emotion. You feel everything is bad. You kind of believe something must be true because it feels true. You you judge basing on feeling toward the thing, feeling toward the object, feeling toward everything, and you feel like you're incompetent. Those are kind of negative cognitive distortion, which is not true. But due to your emotion reason, you believe those are true, which is not. And number five will be selective attraction. Selective abstraction means that you pay attention only on the negative aspect, again, on the situation, instead of concerning the entire experiences. You when you look at the whole experiences, you only looking at the end. Okay, I'm a failure. I made mistake, but you didn't really check what happened during the middle of your project. Maybe there's something significant. You actually did really well, right? So, like I say, it's something like sometime when you go to the journey, ending is not important, but during the process, what did you do and how did you improve, that are more important than the actual result. So those are the what I call selective abstraction, which you just put is selective bias. It's similar to selective bias. And number six will be overgeneralization. So probably you draw a general conclusion basing on the small amount of evidence. That's called overgeneralization. So you kind of looking thing into you didn't see the whole picture. You just looking at particularly a failure or particular reason that you kind of make that mistake, and you kind of overgeneralizing, saying, "Oh my God, I make mistake," um, basing on those small little tiny issue that you make during the whole journey, which can kind of sabotage your success, right, at the end. And then you will say, I do everything. So this is the other cognitive distortion that I want to avoid. And number seven will be mind reading. You just feel like you kind of can read your own mind, other people's mind, and you show other people thinking about what you're thinking. Okay, and you think other people think you're foolish, you think stupid, you think other people cocky, you think other basing on any type of evidence, you just feel like, okay, I think somebody think about me this way, and which is not true too, because it's all basing on your perception, it's all basing on thinking, and it's all basing on assumption, right? Number eight will be personalization. And that means that you take other action personally and when they actually have other intention. So maybe people didn't do this on purpose. Maybe people don't really care outcome. Maybe people don't focus on what happened. But you kind of like take it into very personal. You kind of personalization, uh, you know, the thing that may happen to you because people do that on purpose, which is not true as well. And number nine will be impartiative, means that you have an unreasonable idea about how other yourself should must behave. So you always think, I absolutely have to do my best. I have to be the best of in my behavior. I have to work as hard as possible. Or you never thinking about you already did your best, and you think about other people have an unreasonable, religious idea about how you, how others must have. Okay, and last one will be manifestation and the minimization. So meaning that you actually exaggerate, okay, about all those negative and minimize the positive outcome. So you will say, I'm not good to figure out what I'm gonna do. It doesn't matter if I'm a communicator, or it doesn't matter if sometimes I have a common sense. You kind of discredit everything you did basing on a little thing, and you exaggerate about that little tiny mistake that you have, and then you kind of magnify, make it bigger, and then make it worse. So those are the 10 types of cognitive distortion. And now I'm going to talk about how to make some correction on this. So the first one will be we need to identify the troublesome thought. So every time when you have a troublesome thought, then you kind of have to put your thought and put your emotion and behavior together at one linear sentence, one linear situation, and you have to figure out how to digest, you know, like it's a cut into half or whatever, to make your thought and emotional process smooth and turn all those negative slowly change to a positive thinking. So because those are kind of important, and that's how you kind of why you need to identify. Because once you identify the problem, you identify the trouble issue, you will be able to reduce their distort thought process. Okay. And number two, you have to refine the situation. What does that mean? You're trying to refine your situation. Basically, you need to look things into the gray area. Things are not about yes or no. Things are not about just one-way street. They're not just up and down. And there's a lot of different explanation. You have to figure out alternative choices, alternative situation and consequences behind your reasoning. And like I say, short of gray, look at the gray item, maybe will remind you things can be as beautiful as possible. Um, Thinking about, like I said before, alternative explanation, you need to find an objective evidence based on your claim. You need to have a positive interpretation to expand your thinking. So those are the four things that's kind of important for you to think about, to do about right now. So those are the important things. And then we also can talk a little bit about um, use the cost and the benefit and analysis. So cost benefit analysis referring to people always will do things that will benefit for themselves. So people usually repeating the behavior that delivers some benefit. That's put simple this way. You find it's helpful to analyze how you should manage your thought in the past. Okay, how does your past thinking process help you to cope with your current situation? How did you cope your past experiences to into the positive energy? So those are part of a cost benefit analysis that you can do at home by yourself. Then so you kind of list the pro and con, why you want to do that, why you don't want to do that, how to reduce the cognitive distortion. Those are kind of good way to work on it. And then you also can think, do they allow you to avoid taking responsibility or taking unnecessary risk? So when you start thinking about those negative thought, and you can think, is that worth it? Should I continue to think that? And that's also a part of a cost benefit analysis. And of course, then you weigh yourself and to think how am I gonna do about it. And then you can also utilize the CBT technique, which involve with feeling, thought, and your emotion. So those are the type of things that you can do um, to help to reduce your cognitive distortion. So that's it for today. And if you have any question, you can feel free to leave any comment below on my YouTube. I will see you next time. Bye bye. Thank you.